Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do the third part in the what if Deku had the Omnitrix. So in the last part we were just after the incident where the journalist destroyed the door to the school and every student got scared and was running. And at the end, Ida was the president of the class. So, between the time where that happened and the USJ, I would say Deku, since when he's stressed, he just kind of plays with the watch. After a while, he unlocks something that just says that just tells him. How can I say this? What he unlocks is that he can ask what species he has or whatever, and for him, well, he just thinks it's the name of it. Since there won't be any other alien in this except the alien he transforms into. So basically, he unlocks that, and now the watch tells him you have currently the spawnable the species. Ouch. Sorry. Wait a sec. Tep Kufan, which is scenario. Gourmand, which is Upchuck. Volpomancer, which is Wildmutt. Kineceleran, which is Accelerate. Petrosapien, which is Diamond Head. Tetraman, which is Forearm. Pyronite, which is Heat Blast. Viscous Voldan, which is Ripjaw. Lepidopterian, which is Stingfly. Galvanic Mechamorph, which is upgrade of Galvan, which is Grey Matter, and a Eptoneurite, which is Ghost Freak. So he finds that out. Then later Kaminari talks to him and asks him, did you finally get name to your transformation? It would be nice to be able to call them something if you're trying to make a plan so that everyone else can know what you're going to do. And Deku, after remembers the name that the watch gave him, and he said, yes, I do have names. So he tells them the name. He just tells him that he thought of them and he thinks they're nice. So basically, that's how he decided to give it. He doesn't know the watch is alien, and he just thinks, oh, the watch gave me names for my transformations. So later, they go to the USJ. Then everyone, just like in the original and the bus ride, talks about their quirks. Tsuyu decides to ask Midoriya, so how did truly, in all seriousness, how did you get your quirk? And is that just a piece of technology that helps you control it, or is it really part of you? So Deku basically explains how he got attacked by the sludge villain and that he transformed while being suffocated, and it was the first time. After that, when he untransformed, he had the watch, and it was and is literally unremovable. And when he tries to get it off or something, it feels like he's pulling his own skin. So it's basically part of his body. It literally grew on him after the first after he was in danger and he transformed. In reality, it's not that what happened, but basically even he thinks that. So, and this Bakugo doesn't think it's just a piece of technology or junk, since the story actually makes sense a bit. So yeah, um, then he tells them that he decided to give names to them, and he tells them the names. Bakugo says that that they're stupid names, but tells them it doesn't really matter. I like them anyway. So after a bit, they get to the USJ. They enter. They meet 13. All Might's not there. And then the portal opens in the middle of the USJ. Azawa tells 13 to protect the student, and he goes down against the villain. Just like in the anime, then the portal guy, his name was, um, wait, his name, Kurogiri? Yeah, that's it. Kurogiri then goes after the student. They had made the same plan, except that Ida tells uh, Deku that he needs to go since he's faster, but Deku tells him that if they need to fight, Deku's going to be able to do a lot more than him. Ida tries to say something, but then he says, sorry, my Tetrament form can almost lift the building, so I'm a lot stronger than you. You have to do it. So they're able to push him with Deku transforming into a Tetrament. He opens the door by himself. Ida runs out, and then everyone gets sent to their respective place in the USJ by Kurogiri. After falling into water, Deku transformed and turned into his into Ripjaw. Sorry, I'm really bad with that name, so I'm having trouble saying it. So after transforming, he sees Minata and Tsuyu that are rising to the surface, and he sees the villain. He sees that one of them is about to grab her, and he just kind of body him, grabs both Tsuyu and Mineta, and just jump off in the ship. Mineta's freaking out, then Tsuyu sees the sign and says, it's just Midoriya. At least it's good that you're here. Then they talk, just like in the original. They think, okay, yeah, so it's not a coordinated attack. They just knew we would be here. Because if they knew our quirks, they would probably have sent Tsuyu in the fire zone and whatnot. So then Deku looks around and just thinks, okay, we have to get out of here. We're off the boat before they start coming on. So Tsuyu tells him how far she can jump. Midoriya, Midoriya just thinks, okay, so with each of my transformation, I could do different things. The boat is a real boat, but I don't know if with my galvanic mechamorph form I could take control of it and modify it. Then he just thought, wait, I just have to make sure that we get somewhere safe. So he tells Suyu, I want you to grab Mineta and jump to the to jump and try to get to the shore. She asks him what he's going to do and tells her that he's going to use his garment form to see if he can. No, he said he's going back into his um. Oh God, his Paranite form and is going to try and boils the water to force to knock the people unconscious or just kind of evaporate it so that they can't get back up. So he does this. After a while, he just thinks, okay, yeah, they must all be out, and just kind of transform into Stingfly and flies up to the side where Tsuyu is holding onto the side out of view of Shigaraki. Then Shigaraki sees three the three kids that were sent to the boat zone just kind of this on the side, and he says to the Nomu, attack them. If the symbol of peace isn't here, at least we're going to take out something that he's trying to protect. So he goes for the kill. He goes straight for Midoriya, which he didn't saw coming, and when he was about to be hit, his body automatically changed to his wait, which one should I use for that? I won't use Paranite because the hit will kill him even in that form. Uh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to say that he goes back and he goes into his detriment form, which can take quite a beating, and it literally changed him on the spot to be able to survive it. He still felt the hit, but it didn't do that much compared to what it would have done to, let's say, his normal body. Then after taking that hit, he just kind of realized something. The Nomu doesn't even seem to be thinking. So he tells himself, I have to finish this before he tries to attack Tsuyu and the others, or even worse, try to kill All Might, since he heard what Shigaraki said to Eraserhead about a weapon to kill All Might. So he starts punching the Nomu. And I'll say it outright, not even All Might at 100% would be able to hit as strong as a Tetraman, since literally the older they get, the stronger they punch. In the animated series, Ben was 10 when he lifted a building in that form, and we know for a fact that they get a lot stronger. So basically he can hit with enough force to practically break off probably the arm of the Nomu. Since yes, he has shock absorption, but just like All Might did, Deku started punching as much as possible and as fast as he could. So at some point it kind of overloaded. So he was able to destroy the Nomu, but he saw that it started regenerating. Sure, so he got scared a little, and Shigaraki just told him this monster was made to kill All Might. It's not with hits that you're going to end him. Which Deku just stuck to one word: made. He just thought, so it's not a human. It's just a beast, a monster. It doesn't matter if I kill it. So he untransforms and goes off Chuck. And I'm pretty sure you basically know where this is going. He eats the Nomu. Right there. Like, his four tongues extend, grab every piece of the Nomu, and just kind of gulps it all down. So Shigaraki, Tsuyu, Mineta, and everyone who wasn't transported just saw Deku transform into a small green ball and eat something at least 8 times his size without even changing size. Didn't grow bigger, didn't do anything, and then untransformed. Shigaraki was mad and then started going to try and kill Deku with his powers, but then the door kind of blew open with All Might there, and without his smile. Shigaraki knew that he couldn't beat them. So he said to Kurogiri, take me out of here and leave the others. They're useless. So after All Might arrived and then the other pros, they got all the villains and got the testimonies of everyone. So yeah. So in this, since All Might didn't get hurt more from the Nomu, he'll be a little more powerful later in the story and has a bigger time limit. Not by much, but it's still something. So after the USJ, The same thing happened. Aizawa was still hurt, just like 13. They got 1 or 2 weeks out of school since because of the attack they wanted to check and reinforce the security. All Might called up both Kirishima and Deku to the beach to talk to them. He wanted to know something. So when Deku used his Kanasalaran for him to grab Kirishima and bring him to the beach. A lot of people see just a blue flash pass around sometimes. So that's what happens. It's that Deku go and take Kirishima. Or just moving around town because he needs something. So yeah. He wanted to ask them first he wanted to ask Deku what was the monster everyone talked about and how he beated him, because everyone said that you just ate it. Kirishima kind of looked sideways and looked at Deku and says, "Eat it?" Then he says, "Well, my garment form, I turned into my garment form and ate it because he was regenerating. After punching him for a while in my sorry for that. In my Tetraman form, he had some type of shock absorption or something and regeneration, and he was extremely strong. All Might, I think he was punching stronger than you when we were sparring." Which All Might just kind of like, "Wait, what? He punched that hard?" So then Kirishima tells him, "So why did I have to come here too?" Then All Might tells him, "Well, because of your quirk. Or more specifically, one for all. I you seems to be you seem to be using it a lot, but not that much. And I know that you that that 1A will has a week of out of school and will have 2 weeks to train too. So I wanted both of you to meet my old master. His name is Gran Torino." They say, "Wait, your master? So the one who trained you? Awesome." Then All Might tells Kirishima, "Yeah, but it's mostly because he's around here for the next day, so I wanted you to at least meet." "So when are we going to meet him?" Then All Might tells him, "Actually, I asked him if he could come here for a bit so that he could both meet you and young Midoriya." So they wait around. Kirishima tells Deku, "Hey, you never checked how long you had now in your transformation. Why don't you try it?" So he basically just transformed into any forms. Let's say he just kind of go went random and turned into Wild Mutt. So basically, they're at the beach. An old guy that seems to be on the verge of death, a young kid with red hair that seems to be full of energy, and a weird dog. Just kind of like there on the beach. So, after about 20 minutes, Gran Torino arrives and says, Toshinori, sorry for that, Toshinori. Then All Might tells him, Gran Torino, it's been a while. How have you been? Then Gran Torino tells him, I've been good, but... So, that's the successor. He seems nice. And what's with that dog there? I thought you told me you wanted me to meet two kids. One with that you passed, the one that you passed your quirk onto, and another one that that seems to be special. Then Deku just kind of press the button and untransform and tells him, well, actually, it is me. Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. So then they talk for a while. Kyoshi Mike's told him that he's still having trouble with the quirk, but in his full calling, which he does just call full body, he's able to go at around 10% since he was already stronger than Deku before he trained. And with the sparring, sorry, and everything else, he got stronger than Deku was after the 10-month training. He also shows that when he hardens, he's able to go 20, well, just a bit over 20%. If he just put it on one arm, and then Grinchino tells him, why don't you just keep using it all over your body at once? Which, for both Midoriya and Kirishima kinda does. We didn't think of that. Which, then he kind of does. Gran Torino tells them, I want to see how good you are. So he looks at All Might and said, can you keep time? I want to leave them 3 minutes to touch me. Then Kirishima and All Might looked at each other, then at Deku, and then they said, Izuku, don't use your Kinasaran. It's going to be way too easy for you. Then Antonio was like, why? Is it that fast? Then All Might tells Deku, go grab something, let's say he just kind of says, go grab something in, something with a brand logo that, of a place that's like on the other side of town. So Deku transform and then just zooms off. 5 minutes later, he's back and it's with the thing, and it's like, wait, it took you that short of time to go all the way there? Then Deku said, I could have gone faster, but I had trouble finding it. So Gran Torino said, okay, So you really are fast in that form. Deku transformed and said, yeah, but each of my form has a different ability. Some can fly, one can breathe underwater, one is extremely strong, one is made of a crystal that seems to be even stronger than diamonds. Gran Torino, kind of surprised, asks him if he can see them all, which then Deku kind of shows him, one after the other. Just like in the cartoon, when you transform, untransform, and go to another transformation, you reduce the time by doing that. But he doesn't stay in them long enough for it to be apparent yet. So, Gran Torino explains, we'll see how good Kaminari is. Then explains him some basics that All Might didn't say. And then the next day they got to school and were, not the next day, but the next week, they were told by Aizawa that they had 2 months of training, 2 weeks of training before the sport festival. And I'm going to stop it here for now. So yeah, this was the third part of What If Deku had the Omnitrix. And Natsu out.